Welcome back to another Walk It Out Wednesday with Coach T. And I am Coach T. And this is where I try to give you some words to live by so that as we're all walking out this journey called life, we are getting better at that walk. All right, so we are still talking about bouncing back, the three-part series that speaks to what you need to do when you've suffered a hard blow of any sort. I identified three steps, and in part one, I talked about step one, which is self examination and how important it is to be keenly aware of your feelings and why they exist so that you can articulate them to initiate resolution oriented conversations. Okay? In part two, I talked about step two being taking accountability and how important it is to acknowledge your part in the negative experiences that you have. I also talked about seeking God's help and also seeking professional mental health help when and if the situation is truly out of your hands, meaning the outcome of the situation is out of your hands. Tonight, in part three, I am giving you the third and final step to bouncing back, and that is getting closure. The key to getting closure is identifying where to get it from, okay? Because there are two main origins by which closure can come. Number one, others. This is the preferred way we like to get closure because 9 times out of 10, these situations we face involve another person. In most cases, a simple, civilized conversation where you express your gripe or your concern, they apologize, and you accept. Clean. Done, right? Well, that's in a perfect world. What happens when the person that you're seeking to have closure with is incapable of taking any accountability for what they've done to you? How do you get closure after that? That leads me to the second origin of closure. It's from ourselves. Sometimes you're going to have to accept the fact that they can't or won't apologize. And you're going to have to resolve that living your life happy and whole is way more important and precious to you than being mad at them for not apologizing for the wrong that they've done. At the root of getting closure, you must forgive. You already know that forgiveness is, you got to know that forgiveness is not for the other person, right? It's for you. It's for you. The second piece of getting closure is to accept the apology that is received. I know that all apologies aren't genuine. So what? I want you to stop trying to dissect if they meant it or not. Just say okay and move on, whether their intent in giving the apology, in other words, what their intent in giving you the apology shouldn't dictate whether or not you're going to actually receive the closure that comes from that. If you find it difficult to get closure from others or yourself, then this is when you have one other option. There is a ram in the bush. The only other origin of closure, which is really the main origin of closure, is God. When nothing or no one else can help, God can help. And all you have to do is ask, believe, and then trust him. These three steps can get you started. The rest, honestly, is up to you. Remember, holding on to negative feelings hurts you the most, Okay? Harboring negative feelings is going to keep you in a haze of confusion and resentment, which breeds anger and even hatred. And it will stop you from bouncing back. I'm telling you, you can't bounce back unless you let go. Okay? Practice the art of letting go and moving on so that your bounce back game is quick and you keep it tight by addressing and resolving feelings immediately, either with others, yourself, or with God's help. The quickest, the best way to do this is to resolve it as soon as possible, because the longer you hold on to it, the more damage it does to you, not the other person, to you. This actually concludes my 3-part series on bouncing back. Join me next week for a brand new Walk It Out Wednesday with Coach T. I am the Coach T, and I want you to always, always just be you. See you next time.